Hello, my friends, my family. Thank you for being here and welcome to my channel. In this video, I'm going to be talking about manifesting with the moon. So this is the next best secret. This is legit. It is hugely powerful. I'll tell you a little bit about my story, about how I was introduced. But first, if you like my channel, make sure you hit the subscribe, tell your friends. Also leave comments. I want everyone to be part of this community. I want to hear from you all and also offer guidance along the way. So manifesting with the moon, I was introduced to this practice probably about 2 years ago, and I wasn't quite sure about it at first. Now, I'm pretty much a skeptic about some things until I do it myself, until I go through the process and try things out. And look, I have been involved in spiritual development since I was 14 years old. I was working with a healer at a very young age, so I am very open-minded. I've dabbled in many different practices. But sometimes when new things are introduced, it takes me a while to open up. It takes me a while to understand if it actually is going to work. How does it work? Is it legit? What's the deal? And when I was introduced to the moon manifestation opportunity or cycles, I was curious. I also am a Cancer rising. So for all you Cancers out there or with Cancer in your chart, you would typically tend to gravitate towards something like this because Cancer is ruled by the moon. So if that was part of the reason why I was attracted to it, then that's even much better, because I just feel now that I'm working with it, I am very much in alignment with the moon energy. So when we're manifesting with the moon, what does that mean? Well, the lunar cycle with regards to the moon's phases hold frequency as the moon goes through each phase. So I'm sure you're all familiar with the full moon and the new moon, and those are both very significant times. And we're talking ancient wisdom. Like, this is a practice that goes back to our ancient ancestors. And over time, we have lost that practice. And a lot of people still work with that, but it's now gaining a lot more momentum. And I'm telling you, after working with manifestation with the secret, the traditional way, this is the next best secret, and it amplifies the energy. The moon of the energy amplifies your manifestation, essentially. So how it works, the moon has various phases. So again, we're familiar with the new moon, we're familiar with the full moon, but there are phases in between that are very powerful as well. So we have the new moon. The new moon is all about planting the seed. It is when there is no sun hitting the earth, so everything is dark, it is quiet. We get to reflect within, we get to connect with ourselves, and we get to put our intentions into the universe. And remember, when we are creating our reality, it is co-creation. We are creating with the universe, we're creating with the law of attraction. And the new moon is essentially a time of planting the seeds, right? So you want to cast your intentions into the universe, maybe write them down on paper, speak them into the universe as well. It's very potent when we say things. We have to be also very careful about what we say, because that also holds value and sends that out into the universe as well. So after the new moon, we move into the waxing crescent, and this is very much where we start energetically. We continually energetically align with our manifestation, what we want to create. So we're continually casting our intention out there, but we're also feeling how it feels being in our future life. And by that, I mean relationships, how we feel in the future. Love, relationships, success, career, financial stability, family, health, wellness, whatever it is, you can manifest it all, right? So it is continually aligning with the feeling of how you feel in your future and how it looks. All the senses are alive, how it is walking through your future. So you do that for about a week. And then we go into the first quarter, which is actions. So once we have casted our intention into the universe, then we move into practical actions. So what can we commit to doing the work? And this is within my program. I have the two moon workshops. I do one-on-one, and I also have my self-guided workshop where people can work on their own. I provide a journal with all of these phases and instruction prompts as we go along. And this is a systematic approach. So we have different actions to do through each phase of the moon. So the first quarter actions, again, what can we commit to writing down our goals and then doing the work. So it's part us, again, it's co-creation, it's part us doing the work, it's part us putting the energy out there in the universe, showing up and helping us out or guiding us, right? So then we go into the waxing gibbous, which is moving into the full moon. So we have a week from the first quarter going into the full moon, and that is all about actions. So we're committing, but also being in a energetic frequency of receiving. So oftentimes I find some people, many people often start seeing their manifestations develop and come to fruition and come to life around the waxing gibbous going into the full moon. And that's when things start to escalate. That's when things start to, it's like getting into that full moon energy of expansion, of bigger energy opportunities. But there's also intensity that comes with most of the full moons. A lot of the full moons, we react differently to them, but the full moon does have a lot of intensity to it. So when we're leading into the full moon, the energy is going to pick up. Things might show up. Our manifestations very well could start coming into fruition. But also we have to realize that things may fall apart before we get to rebuild. So we have to be open for things to fall away, break apart, relationships to break apart even, old habits, old mindset. It might be uncomfortable, it might be difficult, but we also have to realize that that is happening for us to get what we want, essentially, and for us to see and understand our old paradigms and our old mindset and our old reality starting to break away, to open up for the new. So these things start to show up, and truthfully, most people are surprised at the results because there are so many layers within us. There are so many layers within our reality, within our experience. We are multidimensional. We have so many aspects to our life. We might want money. We might want, I want to be a millionaire and by the end of the month, I want to win the lottery, whatever it is. That's very common, right? A lot of people say that. So it's very much, again, we have to be realistic. But it also requires us to do the work, to commit. Or I want love, I want a relationship. Well, we also have to do our own personal healing, our work, or go on dates, or be open, or have our heart open and reflect on that. So there are so many layers within our desires of what we want that need to be addressed, but sometimes we don't even really realize them until we go through this work. And then, wow, it's so powerful, you know, like learning, having all of these learning experiences and developing into such a stronger, more aligned sense of self as a result. So now back to the lunar phases, we go into the full moon. The full moon is all about releasing. So we're picking things up going into the full moon. The energy is getting really, really strong. And then we get this release. We get to release all the old fears, we face our fears. We start to address what is holding us back from fully, not only stepping into the future that we want, but fully feeling ready for it, feeling ready for the future that we want, feeling ready for more, feeling ready for being a better person, having better experiences, whatever it is, right? So a lot of the things have to be released from the past, you know, healing, forgiveness is a big one, attachments, limiting beliefs, lack mindset, of course, right? So we go into the full moon and we release it. So there's a ritual that we can do. It's all energy work, right? So it is very much a releasing all the old energy, and then we go into the waning phase. The waning crescent, waning gibbous is after the full moon. So now we're headed to the new moon. We're completing that cycle. Then we go into continual release work for that week after the full moon. In the waning gibbous, there's a week of continually checking in with self and seeing what else is coming to the surface. The moon is very, very powerful. It moves water. It moves us. We are made of 65% water or something like that. So the moon does affect us. And it's almost like a detox. It shifts things within us, like it shakes things up, and energetic pieces of within us start to move. And that is the shifting and the understanding and the dissecting of those things, the fears, the illusions, the things that we keep within us, the traumas or the attachments that start to show, that start to come to the surface that we can face and release. And then we open up for more, right? So that's what's happening. Now we go into the last quarter, and the last quarter is also an action. It is all about reversing our mindset. Now, this is a hugely, hugely powerful tool of taking our mindset of maybe what we've been used to thinking, or how we've been used to thinking with regards to I'm not supported, what if I fail, what if I'm not seeing my manifestations take place, I'm frustrated, I'm angry, I'm hurt, when am I going to find love? Or maybe I'll always be single, or whatever the case may be. And so we address that mindset and we write it down, we cross it out, and we turn it into a positive. So positive affirmation. So we're literally reversing our psychology, our psychological mindset, and it is hugely powerful. It takes work. So depending on where you are at, for me, it took many, many months. I had really, really fearful and negative mindset with a lot of areas in my life, and I had to completely do a reset on all of it. It was hugely powerful. You have to stick to it. You have to stick to the program. It's like a workout program. It's like a diet program. It's like anything in life. But the thing is that this is the best investment that you can make, the best investment, because everything starts from here, from how you are vibrating energetically, where your mindset is, where your heart is, where your soul is, and your beliefs, where your beliefs are, and that reverberates in our outer world. That creates our outer world. That creates our reality. So you can have everything you want, or you can't, based on your mindset. So we go into the last quarter. It's flipping our mindset, being very diligent on that, and then going into the Waxing Crescent, which is essentially going all the way back to the new moon. And during that time, it is a full surrender. So we're moving into the darkness again, and also facing some of the shadows and being comfortable with that, being comfortable feeling into that maybe discomfort or into some of those heavier energies as well, and noting that that is part of our existence. That's part of us, and not shying away from it and not shoving it under the rug, but facing it and working through it in a way that's healthy, that is turning that energy into something productive and opening up for more expansion, more opportunities. So during that last phase, that last week leading up to the new moon, is all about releasing. And this is a very, very difficult time, because releasing and letting go is all energetic work. It doesn't mean stop working. It means with the mindset, letting go, being at peace, being comfortable, not putting pressure on yourself, not putting strain on the future. When is this going to show up? How come this isn't working? Etc., etc. It's very much about being at peace and being in the present moment and just letting things unfold naturally, and radical trust. And trust is a huge part of this. It really, really is. So manifestation is a big part about what I do, what I focus on, because I've seen how powerful this work is. I've worked with people and I've seen amazing things happen with their manifestations, and things that they never even thought possible or they didn't even expect. So it's really, really amazing work. I highly recommend trying it, or again, you can try one of my programs. I do have a couple offerings to choose from. But again, going back into the cycle, leading to the new moon is the final step. And that is, again, starting over again, or reflection, of course, and taking note of what has happened, what hasn't happened, where adjustments can be made, but again, starting fresh with a new cycle. So in a nutshell, that is the lunar cycle, and that's how it works. That is the power of the force that is right there that we have to work with, and it will supercharge because it goes deeper into yourself. We can manifest by writing things down every day, and I did this literally for probably 10 to 15 years. I've been manifesting 10 to 12 years solid of writing things down, the traditional method, writing things down, meditation, speaking it into the universe. I was trying everything. To change my life. But the work that we really need to do is work within ourselves. That's very deep. And it's very real, it's very soulful, and that is where the real change is going to happen. You can still manifest a great house and success and a lavish lifestyle, or whatever appeals for you. Everyone has a different path. That's completely fine. But again, we won't get there until we're ready here inside. All right, so I do hope that sheds some light on the moon manifestation. I love talking about this. I'm going to post many more videos on each of these phases in detail. If you have any questions, leave them below. I'm happy to answer, or you can reach out to me privately. And I'm wishing you all the best throughout your manifestation journey.